My name is Catherine Taylor. I'm 34 years old. I'm a lawyer by profession. I married my husband, Harry, 10 years ago, and we have a 7-year-old son, Lucas. About 2 months ago, we built a new house and moved in. I have a well-behaved son, a husband who supports me at my office, and a big house. From the outside, our life seems peaceful, but there's one problem. It's my relationship with my neighbor, Sarah Scott, who's a fellow mom.
Catherine, you live in such a nice house, but you're so plain. My husband's young and good looking, you know, and Lucas is nice, but my son is way better than him.
It's a daily occurrence for her to throw these shallow jabs at me. Every time I see her, I feel uncomfortable, so I've been keeping my interactions with her to a minimum, but one day she suddenly changed her attitude.
Wait a minute, your husband's a lawyer?
Uh, no, my husband.
I saw him. He came out of Taylor Law Firm, right? No wonder you have such a big house. You must be amazing, Catherine.
Well, that's not.
My husband's good looking too, but I think having money is more important, don't you think? Let's have a barbecue sometime. Bye.
Apparently, she had seen my husband leaving my office and mistakenly thought he was a lawyer. She didn't listen to what I had to say, so there was no chance to correct her. From then on, Sarah started talking to me and my family more, acting extra friendly, as if trying to get on my good side. However, one day, after several months of such days, something happened. To my surprise, it was discovered that my husband and Sarah had been having an affair. I can't believe it. I never imagined he'd dip into our joint account like that. I thought something was off lately, but to think he'd be with Sarah. Apparently, my husband had been withdrawing money from our joint account and giving it to Sarah. When I checked the credit card statements, it was full of charges from women's luxury stores. He was probably doing this just to impress Sarah, whom he thought was under the impression that he was a lawyer, without correcting her. This is as if she uses him as a cash cow, isn't it? And on top of that, he couldn't keep a job, so I even hired him at my office. Anger started bubbling up inside me, but I have a son. For his sake, I shouldn't let my emotions take over. I told myself that, and I bit my tongue as Sarah started acting more arrogantly.
Catherine, I've noticed you and your husband haven't been getting along lately, huh?
What? Why do you think that?
Well, I haven't seen you two together recently. I guess with your husband being a lawyer, he might want to pick and choose who he hangs out with.
There were so many times I wanted to snap back at her, but I stayed silent for my son's sake. But one day, after many such days had passed, something happened. I was called by my husband and headed to the diner where I found Sarah. What's this all about? And why are the two of you here together? Honestly, I already knew about the affair and had gathered enough proof, but I decided to play dumb. Sarah grinned and loudly announced,
I'm taking your husband, the lawyer with the $300,000 salary. I'll be moving into your big house, so you can just disappear.
Next to her, my husband, though looking a bit uncomfortable, nodded along with what she said. So, you're okay with a divorce? When I asked, my husband suddenly snapped to attention and spoke boldly.
Of course, I've decided to be with Sarah, and I don't need someone like you, all work and no fun.
All right, I understand. Let's get a divorce then.
I've already filled out my part of the divorce papers. You just need to sign them and submit them, okay?
I'm not sure why my husband came at me so boldly. It was probably because he wanted to play the role of the strong husband who's a lawyer in front of Sarah. So, just like that, we got divorced. And at the same time, my plan for revenge began. For now, I decided to tell Sarah's husband, Kevin Scott, about everything. I knew where he worked, so I arranged to meet him during his lunch break. But when I got there, I was in for a surprise.
Oh, I already knew about your husband and Sarah's relationship a long time ago.
Wait, what? You knew?
Yeah, but I wanted to make sure I was fully prepared.
Prepared? If it's evidence, I have some with me.
No, actually, I'm about to start my own business. I just got the confirmation recently, and I haven't told Sarah yet. I think your husband, Harry, is probably planning on remarrying her. Lately, she's been totally indifferent to me, humming songs while secretly packing her things.
I see. I'm so sorry for causing you trouble, Kevin, because of my husband.
It's fine. I've got a cute son of my own. Let's make sure those two get what they deserve.
Just as I had gained a strong ally, I received an unreasonable message from my ex-husband, Harry.
I'm giving you a 2-week grace period. Pack up and leave during that time. You were able to make it as a lawyer because of my support. You owe me for everything I've done for you. I'll get half of the house and savings in the divorce settlement.
How dare he say that? I was furious, but at this point, I didn't care anymore. They were both about to fall into hell. During the 2 weeks when my ex-husband, Harry, wasn't home, I secretly began my revenge. I contacted a real estate agent I had met through work and decided to sell the new house we had just moved into. It was a house I'd put a lot of effort into, and I had just moved in, so it felt like a waste. But as long as I lived in that house, there would always be ties to my ex-husband. Once I realized that, I made the decision to let it go without hesitation. Since the conditions were good, I quickly found a buyer. 2 weeks later, having already moved into the new house with my son, I sent a certified letter to Harry's family home. As expected, I received a flood of angry phone calls on the day it was supposed to arrive.
Catherine, what the hell is this? I can't get into the house anymore. You've sent something weird to my parents' house.
Oh, it's been a while. Looks like it arrived just fine, huh?
Are you kidding me? What's with this $150,000 charge?
What's with it? The details are written in the papers, aren't they? I even had a lawyer friend help me prepare them properly. So I hope you appreciate the effort I put into it.
Appreciate it? Have you forgotten what I did for you?
Forgotten? Where's the debt you speak of, huh?
What? I married you and stayed with you. Without me, you couldn't have had our son, Lucas. I even supported you at work. I've helped you so much, and now you want alimony and child support. This is ridiculous.
Sure, I appreciate that I got to meet Lucas because of you. But what else have you done for me?
What? That's...
As for work, it's because you couldn't hold down a job outside, right? After quitting the company you joined right after graduation, you only did part-time jobs that never lasted more than 4 months. That's why when I became independent, I hired you at my office.
That's because you wanted me with you.
Huh?
You wanted to be with me at home and at work, so you invited me to do office work, right? I was just humoring you, so don't get cocky.
I can't believe this. Do you have any idea what it was like for me to hire you?
I never asked you to hire me. You kept pushing, so I just went along with it. You owe me gratitude. And I hear you sent the same documents to Sarah too?
Well, of course. Sarah's your affair partner. I have the right to demand alimony from her.
Shut up. Anyway, come to the place I tell you to right now. I'm bringing Sarah with me. We'll settle this once and for all.
With that, he hung up and sent me the address of a diner. I shared the address with Kevin, Sarah's husband, and informed him that the plan was in motion. Then, holding back laughter, I left the house with light steps. When I arrived at the diner, I saw Harry and Sarah all cozy, holding hands. When they noticed me, Harry immediately pulled his hand away with a shocked look. But Sarah, on the other hand, was looking at me with a smug expression.
Oh, Catherine, isn't it? Long time no see.
It's been a while. What brings you here today?
What do you think we're here for? We're telling you to withdraw the claims you made against us.
Huh. How did it come to this? You two had an affair. It's only natural that I'd ask for alimony.
Shut up. I already told you, didn't I? You owe me for everything I've done.
Well, it's fine, Harry. You're such a skilled lawyer, and you make so much money. Paying alimony and child support shouldn't be a problem, right?
Huh? Well, yeah, that's true. But now that I'm going to be with you, Sarah, I thought it's better to have more money.
Harry shot me a glare, almost as if warning me not to say anything unnecessary. He was probably still trying to maintain the image of being a lawyer.
I appreciate your concern, Harry, but I'd prefer to pay it off quickly and move into that big mansion with you. With your income, $150,000 should be no problem, right?
Yeah, I mean, having money is always better. And, well, it's true that she has some responsibility too. I just think the best thing would be to settle it without paying.
Ah, Harry, you're being so stingy. You're a lawyer, and you're going to fire poor old Catherine from her job, right?
Uh? Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true.
Well, that means you'll no longer have to pay for her salary, right? I'll help out, and we can pay everything off quickly and be happy together.
Well,
Oh, wow. I couldn't help but laugh at Harry's nervousness. Seeing my reaction, Sarah opened her mouth with a confused expression.
Hey, Catherine, what's so funny?
Ah, I'm sorry. I've been listening to you too, and it's just so funny.
Ah, what's funny? Are you jealous because I'm going to marry Harry and live a rich life?
Eh? No, that's not it. I just feel sorry for you, Sarah, for still being deceived.
What? What do you mean, deceived? What are you talking about?
hey, Catherine. Why do you always have to say unnecessary things?
Unnecessary things? I just thought maybe it's time to tell the truth. It wouldn't be fair to keep her in the dark, would it? It's so sad that you're being deceived, Sarah.
Hey, you.
Hey, what the hell are you talking about? What do you mean I'm being deceived?
I must have hit a nerve because Sarah raised her voice furiously. Harry, who had been trying to stop me just moments ago, seemed to be scared and fell silent. I took a deep breath and slowly revealed the truth. Sarah, you're completely misunderstanding something.
I told you. What are you talking about?
About Harry. He's not a lawyer, you know.
Huh? What are you saying now? I saw it with my own eyes. I saw Harry coming out of Taylor Law Firm.
Yeah, that's true. In fact, up until I divorced him, I was the one who hired him.
What did you just say?
I hired him. I did. I'm a lawyer and I hired him at my law office. Since he couldn't hold a job, I gave him a job at the office, as a title.
Uh, what do you mean? Harry's not a lawyer, and you are. What kind of joke is this? Are you trying to trick me, Catherine?
Well, would you like to see this? I took my business card holder out of my pocket and handed one to her. Then I showed her the lawyer's badge I always wear. Does this convince you?
Taylor Law Firm. Wait, no way. Are you telling me that law firm is yours?
Yep, it's my office now that I've become independent. Harry couldn't keep a job, so I hired him. Well, I called it office work, but he couldn't even do basic tasks, and all he did was play on his phone. I'm the lawyer here, and he was just doing my menial tasks.
What? This can't be true. Wait, Harry, what's going on? This is completely different from what you told me. You told me I'm a capable lawyer and I make a lot of money. Didn't you say that? Was all of that a lie?
No, that's not it, Sarah. It's just Catherine is lying.
Well, if that's the case, how about you show me your business card?
Eh?
You're a lawyer, right? So you must have a business card, right? You have your lawyer's badge, don't you?
Well, that's...
That reaction. So it was a lie after all? I can't believe this. You talk so big about being a lawyer, but it turns out you're just doing menial work. This is unbelievable.
Sorry, Sarah. I wasn't trying to trick you.
Don't touch me. What is this? I thought if I took you away from Catherine, I'd be living a rich life.
A rich life? Sarah, you love me, right? That's why you wanted to leave your husband and be with me.
Of course that's a lie. I just thought you were a lawyer and had money, just office work. Actually, you're pretty much unemployed. I don't want a man who's even worse than my husband.
That's not. I left Catherine for you, Sarah.
Shut up. You're the one who got a divorce on your own. Unbelievable. I thought you'd pay me $30,000 in alimony. What do you plan on doing about that?
I really loved you, Sarah.
From the outside, it was obvious that Harry had been used as a cash cow, but in his mind, it seemed like a true love. As Sarah berated him relentlessly, I almost felt sorry for Harry. But he had betrayed me and our son, lied, and gotten tangled up with this woman, so it was his own fault. While Harry sulked, Sarah's mood was clearly worsening. She still hadn't apologized, Just as I was thinking that, Sarah suddenly leaned forward with a bright smile and said to me,
So, that means I don't have to pay alimony, right?
How did you come to that conclusion?
Because I'm breaking up with Harry today. There's no plan to continue our relationship or remarry. I'm giving Harry back to you, Catherine. So, I didn't really steal him, right? If the relationship ends, that means I won't have to pay alimony.
With a smile, Sarah said that with complete confidence. I also smiled warmly at her and said, Sarah, do you know? I really don't care whether you break up with Harry or keep seeing him. It has nothing to do with alimony. The problem is that you were in an affair with him while we were still married. I sent you a certified letter, and I have the proof of the affair. No matter what excuses you make, the obligation to pay doesn't change. Harry doesn't have the ability to pay, and he's already stretched thin with his own alimony and child support. You need to pay your share of $30,000.
What's with the attitude? I'm giving your unemployed ex-husband back, right? I'm a stay-at-home wife, you know? I couldn't possibly pay $30,000. Oh, thank goodness. I haven't even brought up divorce to my husband yet. He's just a regular office worker but he's young, and at least he's better than an unemployed man. I'm so lucky. But Harry's the one who's really pathetic, huh? He got dumped by someone as great as me, and now he has to pay $150,000 in a lump sum. Well, good luck with that.
Hold on a second. This isn't over yet.
I'm done talking to you. I don't need to say anything more. Tell Harry not to bother me either, okay? Bye.
Wait, Sarah?
You. Why are you here?
In an instant, Sarah's expression turned pale, and of course, it made sense. Right in front of her, as she was about to leave, stood her husband.
Sarah, you're still in the middle of a conversation, right? Leaving like this without finishing. Isn't that a little rude?
Hey. No. I'm not. I didn't mean to. It's just, I came to the diner and happened to run into Catherine. I knew they were divorced, but I didn't expect to see them here, you know? Just a coincidence. I was surprised.
You don't need to lie. I already know everything.
Huh? What are you talking about? I'm not lying.
I know about the affair you had with Harry. I know you thought he was a lawyer and tried to climb up the social ladder. I also know that when things went well with Harry, you planned to ditch me. I know everything, so there's no need for you to lie now.
How do you know that, Kevin? Did Catherine tell you? You can't be serious. I can't believe this. Just because you lost your husband, you're doing this. How could you do this? You're the worst.
Sarah yelled at me like a monster and raised her hand toward me. I quickly braced myself, but Kevin stepped in front of me and calmly said,
Enough already. What you've done has led to all of this. How much longer are you going to keep making trouble for everyone?
You. It's not like that. You've been lied to by Catherine. I didn't have an affair. I don't want a divorce from you. I love you. There's no one else for me but you, right? Especially not some unemployed man. There's no way I'd do that.
Really? Then what's this?
Kevin took a stack of photos from his bag and placed them on the table. These weren't photos I had prepared. They were evidence Kevin had gathered himself. Among them were screenshots of messages that Sarah had likely sent to Harry from her phone. These were not things I could have gotten, but rather only Kevin, Sarah's husband, could have. When Sarah saw it, she finally understood. It wasn't that I had snitched. Kevin had known from the beginning. Realizing everything, Sarah's face drained of color and she started shaking. Then, Sarah started to cry uncontrollably and clung to Kevin.
Kevin, I'm sorry. It's not like that. I was so lonely, with you always working and never having time for me.
Lonely?
Yeah, you were always working, right? I just wanted to spend more time with you. But you were so busy. I thought I shouldn't disturb you while you were working so hard. So I held it in, but eventually I started feeling really lonely.
And then?
Then I found out that Catherine's husband might be a lawyer. You know, Kevin, you work so much, but you're just an office worker, right? But Harry, he always seemed so calm and collected. And he's a lawyer with money. Well, in reality, he was just unemployed though. I was just deceived. Harry lied and said, I'm a brilliant lawyer. If it hadn't been for that, I never would have gotten involved with him in the first place. I've always loved you, Kevin. I made a mistake because I was deceived. But now I finally realize the person I love, the person I want to be with is you, Kevin. I know that now. So let's be together forever.
Not a chance.
Kevin, what did you just say?
Didn't you hear me? I said, not a chance.
Sarah had probably always had things go her way in life until now. She was confident that her kind husband would forgive her for anything. With this unexpected response, Sarah was stunned.
Kevin, what are you talking about? You loved me, didn't you?
Yeah, of course. That's why I married you.
You always listened to my selfishness, right? You bought me anything I wanted and took me wherever I wanted to go.
That's right. I wanted to see you happy.
Then why? Why won't you forgive me? I said I made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes, don't they? I made a mistake, but in the end, I realized you're the most important to me. I said I wouldn't be involved with that man anymore. So what's the problem?
Sarah desperately pleaded, but her arguments were all over the place. She was only trying to avoid being the bad guy, saying whatever was convenient for her. Kevin smiled gently and said firmly,
Of course it's not okay. Just a mistake? An affair? You got involved with someone else's husband and broke up a family. And you think that's just a mistake? You're trying to brush all of that off as nothing.
Kevin, why do you look so scary?
Of course I look scary. What you did isn't something that can be forgiven. Not by any stretch of the imagination.
But I apologize to you.
I'm not the one who you should apologize to. The first person you should apologize to is Catherine. It doesn't matter if you were misled or deceived. I'm tired of hearing your excuses. You can't even admit to the mistakes you made, let alone apologize to the person you hurt. I never thought you were such a terrible person. I don't love you at all anymore. In fact, all I feel for you now is resentment.
What?
Apparently, the shock was too much for Sarah, and she collapsed to her knees. Kevin took out a piece of paper and thrust it toward her.
You. What's this?
You can see what it is, can't you? It's the divorce papers. I'm divorcing you. Thanks for everything.
No, I don't want to. I'm a housewife. If we divorce now, my life will be.
I don't care about that. Besides, I'll be busier than ever from now on, so I won't have time to deal with you.
What do you mean? Is there some department transfer?
No, I'm starting my own business.
What? You, Kevin?
Yeah, all those late nights and extra work, that was all for the purpose of starting my business. I wanted to make your life easier. So I worked on weekends and did the housework too. And now, to think I'd be betrayed like this.
So, you're saying you're going to be the boss now? Why didn't you tell me? If I'd known you were starting your own business, I never would have gotten involved with anyone else.
Why would I tell you? By the time it was certain I could start the business, I already knew about your affair. So I decided I'd put you in hell in the best way possible. For someone like you, who only cares about appearances and pride, this is the worst thing to happen, right?
What? No, I don't want this. I don't want a divorce. Please, Kevin, just give me one more chance.
You're being persistent. I already told you. Not a chance. Pack up your stuff, and I'll send it to your parents' house. Don't ever come back. Oh, and by the way, I'll be sure to make you and Harry pay alimony.
Wait, you're making me pay too?
What? I have to pay Catherine $150,000, you know? And now you want me to pay even more? That's impossible.
I don't care about your problems. If you don't pay, I'll take the appropriate measures. You two better be prepared.
No, this wasn't supposed to happen.
My life of luxury.
Let's go, Catherine.
That's right. With that, we left the two of them crying and returned home. It was the moment when the long battle finally came to an end. Afterward, Kevin and Sarah got divorced. At first, Sarah hesitated, but once it was made clear that it would go to court, she agreed without much resistance. Having no savings, Sarah had to temporarily return to her parents' house to pay the alimony. She reportedly apologized to her parents and borrowed a substantial amount of money. Now, she works tirelessly under her parents' supervision to pay it back. Her parents live in a very rural area, and her life is a far cry from the glamorous one she once had. She no longer has money for appearances, and she's said to look like a completely different person. As for Harry, he too turned to his parents for help, just like Sarah. However,
betraying your wife is unforgivable. You worthless son.
You were able to live thanks to Catherine, weren't you? Ungrateful fool.
You're no son of mine anymore. You're disowned.
apparently, his parents completely cut him off. As a result, he ended up borrowing money from various sources and, according to rumors, even resorted to loan sharks. While he received a lump sum payment, it's unclear what he's doing now. He's probably living a difficult life. I hope those two truly reflect on their actions. As for me, I've decided to focus on my work and raising my child, moving forward with a new mindset.